Here we are again. Welcome back, Inktober 7, day 7. We are gonna get into this. Before we start, here's the prints I've done so far. If you're interested in any of them, they are up on Etsy as usual. But right now, in this moment, our prompt today is fan. And immediately I was like, I'm drawing this Japanese fan, and I sure did. So I took my character, Amai. I do relate her to Japanese fashion. Her name's Japanese, so of course I'd choose her, and she's very elegant, and she never shows the bottom of her face, so I felt like this was perfect because I didn't have to draw the hood she normally wears, and I can just draw her and just have a fan. It was a very lovely time. I love her character so much. I think her eyes are beautiful, and you can really tell that she has these very pretty eyes. But my whole idea was just to draw a handheld fan. So that was just the premise of this print. I think I actually own one. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I know the one that I got, it was from my grandma, so it's an old vintage one, if you will. I think the line work, it's needlework, that are usually on handheld fans are so pretty. I think if you don't have one, you should buy one. They're I think that's one of the most pretty things that women of that century used to have. Also, throughout these prints, I've been drawing more and more hands, and can't say that I'm happy with it because I hate drawing hands. But I'm glad that I'm getting practice. I feel I was I made our hands too big in the end, but I feel like it's okay. It's not terrible, but I have been trying to work on my hand drawings, and I feel like I've improved a lot. She does wear gloves too, so that's a fun thing. She's so elegant. I love her. So I've had this idea to draw her with a fan, but I've also had the idea of giving her a weapon that is a fan but has a knife in it. Wouldn't that be so cool? I know people have come up with that design, ideas of that, but I want that as an idea for myself, okay? And I was trying to add some flowering designs on here. I just looked up Pinterest and looked up some rose flower line art. Fun thing, if you are ever needing to reference something but don't want to look off of a realistic, just a photo, a realistic IRL photo, or you don't want to accidentally copy someone, just search up that subject and put line art, and then take different outlines of and different things you like from those references, and then put it all together. That's what I usually do for my patterns for flowers. I've looked up plenty, so I know a lot of stuff based on patterns, so I haven't needed to look up stuff in a while, but I haven't made any patterns or done flowery line art in a while, so I was just I'm gonna get a reference just in case I don't screw this up, because I wanted to make it more shapes instead of line art, but you'll see that in a little bit. But this piece was very lovely to work on. This was super, super easy. I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like I really like the hands I drew. I don't know why. They're okay, but I just felt when I was going into it, I thought I wasn't going to be able to draw the hands, but I did, and I was like, you know what, I will take it as a win. So, I like to think I'm decent at drawing hands. I don't think I'm terrible, but sometimes they're a little wonk, and that's okay. You know, not everything's going to be perfect. But I think this went great. I don't think I have any struggles that I worked on. It was just, well, I worked on hands, but like I didn't have any struggles throughout this. It was so fun. It was crossing another thing off my bucket list, was to draw Amai with a handheld fan, and I probably will get it in the future just because I wanted that weapon idea, because I think that is so dope. Okay, and it's gonna happen. Okay, it's going to happen, and if I forget, let me know and we can make it happen. But this worked so well. I think I forgot what color the fan was. Now that I think about it, I think it was just white or black. You know what? I don't remember. I know the background is black, but I did spoiler for the background. Well, you probably would have already seen it, but for the background, I did a line art similar to on the fan, but I did it in white. With my white liner. Which is absolutely saving every single drawing I do. Thank you so much, white liner. It's a jelly roll if you're like, ooh, which white liner do you use? I use the jelly roll one. I'm not, I wouldn't say I recommend them because they seem to only work on these inks that I've used, and they really work on, like, they don't work for watercolor if you're trying to go over a watercolor picture, so I wouldn't recommend it for that. But if you're like, I want to go over some inked drawings, then I recommend it for that. But I feel like some paper it might not work as great on. For these, I just use a Bristol board if you're curious. The reason I do use that is just because it works, and I have like so much of it because I was like, Dad, my dad was like being nice and going to Hobby Lobby to get stuff, and he's like, what do you want? And I was like, can you get me some Bristol board? Because I was like needed it for my school projects, and he bought like 5 huge pads of it, and I was like, Dad, you didn't need to buy that much. And like my sister was in a class with me, and you know what, now that I think about it, I think he bought more than 5. Like, he bought a ton. So I just have me and Katie, my sister, she goes by Kate Cruzan if you're wondering, she's in the description below if you want to follow her. Me and Katie were just like, oh my god, that's so much. So we now like have this, we share this copious amounts of just Bristol board, and it's just been sitting there for a while because I totally just gave up on classes because they stress me out anyway. So I have a bunch, so I've just been like, but they're like really, really big pieces of paper, so you can tell I've been cutting them down. They're about 5 by 7, so that's fun. But I do actually like really enjoy using the Bristol board. Thank you. Bristol board. I think it's completely fine. I've even used watercolor on it, and being someone who like really doesn't use professional watercolor paper, you know, it's not the worst thing. I think I've used professional watercolor paper maybe once. But Bristol board isn't like the worst thing I've used for watercolor. It's like not that bad. Like, I've used worse. But you know, it holds up and it does what it needs, and it's pretty good for ink. I don't have any problems with it. It's just a regular old piece of paper, if you will. But for this one, I did remember to do my step by step. So I did the flat line art. I did it in order finally. You know, sometimes I'll like not do the full line art and then go immediately into shading like a certain part. So if I like get the eye fully lined, I'll like shade it when nothing else is finished, and I just need to stop doing that. And I'm glad that I did that for this one and sat through and finished it. I think it was because I was switching between this drawing and the drawing up earlier today. If you want to go check that out, I drew for the prompt Sickness and Disease for Gortober, if you want to go check that out. But I was switching between those two, and that made it easier for me to focus for a little bit. I definitely enjoyed it, but the more I switch through pieces, the more my brain's like, oh, you're trying to trick me. Oh, wow. Well, guess what? You're still going to be annoyed every time you draw, so that's fun, but very fun piece. And you can, there I go erasing things. Before anyone says, why don't you use a kneaded eraser for erasing so you don't have like those dumb little eraser bits, I have just a hatred for kneaded erasers. I don't know if it's because the ones I've used, but they just like smear the charcoal everywhere. They don't like pick up the charcoal as well as I want it to, and I hate the texture of them. They're like so nasty to me. Like I hate the texture, especially when it has all the graphite on it. Like I just, I don't like it. So if anyone is like, use a kneaded eraser, I'm going to say no. Okay, it's my choice. So I also have no problems with using just regular erasers, except the fact that, you know, I get the little pieces on my desk, but I've never cared it being there on there or not, so I've never had a problem with it so far. So here I go shading in the face. I think the horns were so fun to shade because I left like a little line in the middle for like the highlights. I think it's so pretty. Definitely doing this type of like line shading. Yeah, I did color the fan in black. Yay. I remember. I don't remember, but I see. Anyway, what was I going on about? Line shading is like so pretty when it's done right, and I feel like I did a pretty good job here on the face, but I do go and add a dark skin tone. Oh my god, I keep yawning, I'm so sorry. A darker skin tone because she does have a darker skin tone, and I would be upset with myself if I didn't do that. So I do go through and color it in. But I do recommend, if you are using inks and then you want to go over and fill it in with like a watered down ink, sometimes when you go over with a water over the ink you've already done, it like dulls the black down so it doesn't look as a pitch black. It's kind of just like toned down to like a darker gray. So I'd recommend coloring your values before you go in and shading. So I learned that with I need to stop yawning. I'm so sorry. I learned that through this, and Amai does have like dark eyes, so I also added that to there, except one part where I wanted the highlight of the eyes, but a lot of this was colored in. You can see me doing that now. A lot of it was colored in with different values. A lot of it is just completely white. It's the only thing that's completely white is I think some of the things on the fan, the highlights in her eye, and the line art in the background. So, which you'll see at the end. Well, you have already seen it because I showed the finished thing, but you know what I mean. So, not even our little sleeves and bow are completely white. They're a little more dark. And you could see me going in with the black and adding that background to make my whites pop. You know, I really like adding the black background. I feel like a lot of my drawings have that. But I'm trying not to do it too much because I feel like it's becoming like a cop-out. So I don't want to. This one I'm okay with doing because I, add that white liner on top with the floral light art. I've never yawned this much in my life. Why do I keep yawning? I'm so sorry. Clearly staying up wasn't a good idea. It was a good idea in the moment because I like really wanted to work on my animation project, or just a animation project. It was just like a small one. So really shouldn't have done that, but back on this. I felt like this one was really simple. It was easy. Another one of those that I just enjoyed just through the process, because I felt like it wasn't crazy. I didn't have to do anything that I really struggled with except the hands, but I was surprisingly pretty chill with those. So I ended up really liking the final finished product and like everything throughout. I definitely, when I was doing the sketch, felt like this was going to be way worse than it was, but I was pleasantly surprised in the end that it came out way better than what I thought it would. So I'm glad I did add oh my god, I keep yawning. God, I don't know why. Maybe I need to take a nap after this, my god. I'm glad I added that white sort of line art in the background because it would have just looked so lame without anything in the background. And you can see me going in here, adding my lines, and I was looking at like some inspirational refs to come up with this, so that's fun. If you're ever struggling drawing something, just get a reference. It will save your life. But this was so fun because I really enjoy doing like little floral line art things. I just hit my mic a little. So I liked it, and then I'm really glad I added the stuff in with the background. I think it was a great idea. I think it was so fun, so fresh. Hello. So I enjoyed it. I think I don't draw Amai that often, and I feel like she needs more pictures, and this was perfect to add to her little group of pictures. So it was a strong effort, ladies and gentlemen. We killed this today. If you drew anything today, let me know. I have a Discord in the description. I'm always willing to chat about your art. So if you're like, ooh, I want to show you my art, Chrissy, and if you want, we can show it on one of the videos and we can talk about it. But other than that, I have there's a server linked in the description about adoptables and characters. If you are interested in buying characters for RPGs or any sort of character design that you like, that's in the description, but that's about it. Once again, here's my final piece. I hope you enjoyed today's video and print. This one will be up on Etsy like all my other ones. Well, some of them aren't, but I say that in all the videos. If they're the ones that aren't up there, I'll let you know. Like if you see a video in the thumbnail and you're like, ooh, I want that, I will. There's only 2 that aren't up there, so, but most of them are up on Etsy. So if you're interested, go get that. But thank you for joining me. That'll be it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Bye.